What's up, y'all? So today we're going to be talking about how alcohol affects bodybuilding. So when it comes to bodybuilding, there's a lot of restriction when it comes to your dieting and fitness goals. But it's also important to not let all of it hold you back and prevent you from having fun and enjoying life. Nowadays, there's multiple ways to stay entertained, from playing sports, video games, hanging out with friends, and when socializing over the age of 21, normally there's probably going to be some alcohol involved. And here comes the question: do I drink with the group or do I not, because it's going to affect and ruin my body? To give you a better understanding of how to go about answering that question, we'll start off by talking about why some people drink in the first place. Now, everyone's different and these reasons may not pertain to you, but for the majority, some people like to drink because of the psychological effect, as a way to cope with stress, anxiety, depression, and things along those lines. Others may drink because of peer pressure, curiosity, or even social norms. I'm not going to comment on whether some of the reasons are right or wrong, but regardless of the reason, you may or may know somebody who does drink for those reasons. But overall, it's really important to know the side effects and how it affects your body. Reason being, you don't want to run into too many risks in falling down the slope of alcoholism. So what does happen when you drink? So when you start drinking, it absorbs into your bloodstream, then it reaches the brain after a few minutes. From there, it starts to affect your behavior and cognitive function. During these stages, you don't really get affected bodybuilding wise. However, after that, it goes through your liver and then your heart, and then the digestive process starts. It is at this point where alcohol starts to affect your gains and your metabolism. When going through digestion, the main effect alcohol impacts is muscle protein synthesis. This is the process that your body goes through to repair and grow after exercises and workouts. Alcohol impairs with the process by interfering with hormonal signaling and nutrition absorption, which is big with muscle protein synthesis. Dehydration is also a side effect of alcohol. People are 60% water, so obviously our body uses a lot of it to repair broken down tissue. But what age groups does it affect the most? According to the NIAAA, 23.5% of people above the age of 18 have reported that they have engaged in binge drinking within the past month. This is kind of a surprise to me because I thought that number would have been quite a bit higher, but it does explain when the recent reports have been showing a reduction in alcohol use when it comes to young adults. That doesn't take away from the fact that according to Statista, nearly 61% of individuals between the ages of 26 and 29 drink alcohol. Now, this video is not targeting people who drink at all. I'm just bringing awareness to those who do and letting you know that even if you do drink, you don't have to cut it out entirely. Drinking in moderation or every now and then is a pretty effective way when it comes to stress release, as long as it is controlled. But you have to remember rehydration after drinking. The real issue lies when drinking becomes chronic, to the point where you're doing a lot more damage to your body than you even know. Finally though, I'll segue into, is it okay to drink and bodybuild at the same time? In my opinion, I would say yes, but it has to be minimal. Going out with friends and socializing is probably a good way to just release stress as a whole, and maybe you might get offered a drink or two, and that's okay. However, don't become belligerent and down 5 pints of beer. If possible, try and keep it to shots instead of full glasses of wine or beer. The reason I say that is because one shot is normally equivalent to a pint of beer, and because beers are bigger and also carries a lot of carbonation, it can give you that feeling of bloatedness. And so you could imagine that drinking 2 shots in comparison to drinking 2 beers would have a big difference as far as liquid consumption. Obviously, staying away from alcohol as a whole is ideal and will give you the best health results. But if you're in your head about enjoying some time with family members or friends, you don't have to completely abstain from joining. Just make sure that, as I said, rehydrate afterwards and don't get carried away. But yeah, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. I know it was different to the past couple ones I've done, but if you have any topics that you want me to cover, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace, peace, peace.